Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make Quartz House number 4. It should be fairly simple. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need block of quartz, some dark grey wool, we will need both types of glass, and we will also need some sort of door. I would always go with iron. Oh, and I suppose if we need to open that door, we'll also need a button or a lever or TNT or whatever you want to use. So once you have all of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here, you're going to want to kick this off with a row of 6 block of quartz coming directly up from the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once you have your row of 6 block of quartz, you want to, from the top block of your row of 6, go to the right of it by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then connect that 8th block to the ground. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this, a nice little archway. And this would be a perfect time to decide which side of the house this is going to be. So I'm going to take out my bed, and I'm going to mark this as the front of my house. It could go either way at the moment, this side or the other side. However, this is the front. I know that some of you guys like to know this information before we get cracking. So once you've figured out which side is which, and once you have this nice little archway here, this is what you want to do. Come behind your archway, and from the 2 top corners of your archway, you want to do 2 individual rows of 5 coming towards the back of your house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you then need to do is just connect those 2 rows of 5 together and to the ground. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. A nice little rectangular box shape. This is what you want to do once you have your box shape. So coming to the side of what we've just made, starting from this block on the left hand side of our house, you guys should hopefully be able to figure out where I am exactly. From this block, you want to do a row of 7 block of quartz going left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then connect that block to the ground. So you want to have something which should look like this. This is the front of our house, and that is, well, what we've just done. And you know what? Since we've just done this on the left-hand side, we may as well go ahead and do this on the right-hand side as well. So coming over to the right-hand side here, starting from this block, the same block as we did on the left-hand side, do a row of 7 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then connect that block to the ground. So in total, you want to have something which should look like this. Alright, so continuing on, come over to the left hand side of your house, take a sideways view onto what you've just made, and starting from this block right here, this corner block, you want to do a row of 8 block of quartz coming towards the back of your house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like so. And then you want to connect that 8th block to the ground, like this. Now, come to what will be the back of your house, and starting from this corner block again, it's all about the corner blocks. Starting from this corner block, you want to go to the left by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then connect that 7th block to the ground, like so. What you then want to do is also, not only do you want to connect that block to the ground, but you also want to go up on top of it by 1. Then you want to go left of that 1 block by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then connect that 8th block to the ground, like so. What you then want to do, starting from this first block, from the top of our row of, I'm not even sure how long this row is, but starting from this first block from the top, you want to go left of this block by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I really should have known that number. And then connect that 7th block to the ground. But you also want to connect this 7th block to the front of your house as well. So you just want to run a row from corner block to corner block to finish off the right hand side of your house and give you something, just to show you what the back should look like, it's really easy, and give you something which should look exactly like this. Very easy indeed. So once you have laid the groundwork for the first floor, and I'm just going to give you a view of what it should look like, a nice aerial view. So once you've laid the groundwork for the first floor, this is what you want to do, and this will just make the next part a little bit easier. So you can see on the front of the house where we have this little area here that, well, it's just completely empty, it's a nice rectangle. Fill this in completely with quartz. This is going to serve as a bit of a balcony later on. What you then want to do is fill in this middle section, run 2 rows of quartz from the upper back part of the house and connect them to the balcony like this. So make a nice rectangle shape, and then fill this in with quartz just as you did the balcony. So like this, take a little moment here. Once you've filled in those 2 sections, the balcony and the middle part of the house, you then want to fill in these 2 parts of the house as well. You want to fill in the second floor for the left and right hand side parts of the house, and the floors want to just be 1 block lower than the actual middle part of the house, so that's why we've done them separately, just so that we don't raise them up or anything crazy like that. You know how things can get out of hand, I know they can for me. So you just want to have something which, once you've all filled it in, should look a little bit like this. As you can see, the middle part is raised by 1, and the left and the right hand side just down by 1. Once you have that whole second floor filled in, it's now time for us to actually build the second floor. Alright, so turning our attentions to the second floor, you're going to want to go ahead and locate this block right here. Shouldn't take you a moment. Once you have found this block, you're going to want to do a row of 6 quartz coming directly up from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You then want to go to the right of that 6th block by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then connect that to the ground. Like so. What you then want to do is come behind the little archway that you've just formed, and starting from the top 2 corners of our archway, you want to do 2 rows of 6 coming towards the back of the house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then connect those 2 rows of 6 both together and to the first floor. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Once you have the middle part of the second floor, it's now time for us to do the 2 wings of the house, and we may as well start with the left one. I always start with the left, don't know why. It's an OCD thing, I'm almost positive. So, coming to the front of your house and coming to the front left-hand corner of the middle part, starting from this block right here, you want to go left of this block with your quartz by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect that 6th block to the first floor, like so. You then want to come behind the structure that you've just made, and starting from the corner block, you want to come towards the back of the house by, you may even have guessed this, by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect that 6th block both to the first floor and to the middle part of the house. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Very easy shape. Once you've done this on the left-hand side of the house, you want to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the right-hand side. So coming over to the right now, starting from the exact same block, this one right here, you want to start off with your row of 6 quartz going out towards the right-hand side of the house. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You then want to connect that 6th block to the first floor. Then come behind what you've just made, and starting from this corner block right here, you want to do a row 6 coming towards the back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. connect that block both to the first floor and to the middle part of your house to give you something which should look a little bit, I don't even know what view to show you, to give you something which should look a little bit like this. And just to show you what it should look like from the front, this is what you want to have so far. And as you guys can see, we're cracking along. We're on fire. Once you've reached this point right here, the actual difficult parts of this are really over. All we have to do from here is just mess about with all of the different panels that we have around the house, of which there are many. And I figure we may as well start with the entrance. So this is what you want to do for the entrance, and I'm just going to do this quickly for you and then show you the end result, as with a lot of these, there's no point in really explaining them. It's pretty straightforward what you have to do once you can see. And I'm also going to explain this as well. So this is what you want to have for the entrance of your house. You see the little clear archway that we have surrounding the door. That is going to later be filled in with glass pane. I don't want to do it on recording because if I fill in all the glass pane, it's really going to take a long time. However, this is pretty time effective. That little space in the middle of the dark grey as well, that's where the door's going to be. So this is what you want for the entrance. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've done that, it's now time for us to continue on. So now we've just got to deal with these two side panels on the entrance. They're very simple. You just do two strips of dark grey in the center of the side panels, and then the rest of the panel will be filled in with glass pane. So this is what you want to do for the side panels to the entrance. Very simple indeed. Oh, and this house is symmetrical, by the way, so everything we're doing to the right side, we're going to be doing to the left. It's really easy. So, moving along, this is what you want to do to the front left and front right hand panels of the ground floor of your house. It's very easy. Essentially, you want to do a little dark grey archway that sits one block back in relation to the actual structure of the house, and then you want to throw a 2x2 square of grey wool directly in the center. And since you've done that to the right, you want to go ahead and do the exact same thing to the left hand side as well. So we've just got a little archway and then a little square of dark grey, which should look exactly like that. Let me show you what the entire front of the house wants to look like before we move on, shall we? So, this is what you want to have for the entire front of the house. You haven't really got a fantastic view, actually, just because of how the house is, but you guys know what you had to do. Once you've taken care of the entire front, it's time for us to move on to the sides. So the sides are really easy as well. So for the two side panels of the house, this is what you want to have. You essentially want to have a very large dark grey archway like this, and the entire middle section of that will be filled in with glass pane, and that archway is centered one block back in relation to the actual structure of the house. So since we've done that to the right hand side, we may as well go ahead and do it to the left hand side as well, as they are identical. There you go, you can actually see both sides. Very easy. Once you've taken care of both sides, it's now time for us to move on to the back of the house. So coming on to the back, we may as well start with the left and right hand panels first. So this is what you want to have. It's a little bit more difficult than doing an archway, but it is really an easy design. I'm going to do both of them before I show you what you want to have. So this is what you want to have on the left and right hand sides of the back of your house. It's essentially an H shape with two dark grey wool in the bottom center of the H. Of course, it's not really, it's kind of a wonky H, let's get real, but that is what you want to have, and as you can see on the left hand side as well, identical. Very simple. Once you've done that to those two back panels, it's now time for us to take care of this center panel here, which is very, very easy indeed as well. So we start off with our archway, like this. A dark grey archway, and then we just make an ever so smaller one. Ever so slightly smaller one in the center of the archway, and again, everywhere else in there is going to be filled in with glass pane. Unless, of course, you wanted a back entrance. I've just realized there's basically an entrance there if you wanted it. Completely up to you. Mold the house to what you want. But there you go. That is the entire back of the house. We've actually 100% completed the entire ground floor. I think I'm going to wait until after we've taken care of the second floor, and then I'll zip away and fill everything in with glass, and I'll show you guys the end result there. But there you go, that is the entire ground floor taken care of. Very, very easy. Just showing you guys a couple of views of all the panels. You can of course pause this wherever you may need it. But yeah, once you've taken care of the entire ground floor, it's now time for us to move up to the second floor. So we may as well start on the front, and we may as well start with the entrance to the balcony. So the entrance to the balcony is extremely easy, as you've already made it before. It's pretty much just a carbon copy of the entrance to the actual house, and you might be able to see that. There you go. Basically the exact same as the front of our house, including the dark grey wall, which sits one block back in relation to the quartz. Very easy. So that is the entrance to the balcony. Pause that if necessary. Let me show you what you want to do to these front two panels here, and I've already made an ever so slight mistake, as they're supposed to sit one block back in relation to the quartz, but there you go. Let's show you. I'll show you them one at a time, as you can't actually see both of them at the same time just because of the house is laid out. But this is what you want for the front left-hand side of the second floor. It's kind of like an E shape, but not really. Very easy. Moving on to the other side now, and do remember that the dark grey wall is supposed to sit one block back in relation to the quartz, so just a friendly reminder. There you have it, that is the mirrored version of what we've just made. Again, kind of like an E shape, but when you think about it, probably not. There you go. Moving on to the sides. Actually, I'll try and show you the front first. Oh, you can actually kind of see it quite easily without the balcony there. The plans that I'm looking at, I have the actual glass of the balcony, so it's kind of in the way, but you can see what we've done to the entire front of the second floor. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've taken care of that, it's time for us to move on to the sides. So the sides feature a very easy design as well. Let me just show you. This is what you want to do to the both sides of the second floor of the house, and as you might imagine, again, glass is going to go in there. Once you've done that to the left hand side, you want to do the exact same thing to the right hand side. So coming over to the right here, just doing the exact same shape. I'm not even sure I've got a description for this shape. I don't even know what that is. It's kind of like a really weird looking fence. I'm not entirely sure, but that is what you want for both side panels of the second floor. Let's move on to the back. So again, just as we did with the ground floor of the house, we may as well take care of the left and right hand side first. And luckily for us, we've already done this. The left and right hand side panels of the back of the house are just the exact same as the front. As you can see, there's kind of a pattern thing going. The side of the house actually kind of follows it along, so as you can see, like, there's the front, and then it kind of follows along to the side here, and then follows along to the back. I just thought that might be a nice touch, but there you go. That is what you want to have for the back left and back right hand panels of the second floor of the house. Very easy. Let me just show you those both together. Quite simple. And now, finally, for the back middle panel, this is what you want to have. This is also extremely simple. Let me just show you this. It's essentially just stripes, and I've just done them wrong. Hang on. Wrong row. Actually, that would have been useful to keep there. And this is what you want to have, and I can't remember whether it is glass block or glass pane that goes there. I'm going to have to check my original plans, but glass will go in between those two strips of dark grey wool, but that is the back middle section. Very simple indeed. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've taken care of the entire back of your house, second floor, first floor, check. It's now time for us to take care of the roof, and the roof is extremely simple as well. Let me show you what you have to do. It's really easy. Essentially, you turn the 3 sections of the top of the house, each into little squares / rectangles of dark grey wool, and then you just fill said sections in with glass block. It's really easy. Of course, you could modify the roof if you wanted to, but that's your choice, I suppose. So, just to show you what this should look like. You just want to do two squares, one rectangle on the tops of each sections of those roofs, and then just fill them in with glass block, as I'm doing now. Very, very easy indeed. And there is something I do want to point out. Actually, we do have a couple of things left to do before I go into glass pane mode. Let's just fill these in. So just to show you what the roof should look like once it's been filled in. Very easy, very simple. Pause this if necessary. So you'll notice that you have these two little empty sections here on the left and right hand side of the middle section of the house. You just want to fill those in with glass block. Simple as that. There you go, I just wanted to point that out. So once you've taken care of those two very small strips of glass block, the only thing left on our agenda, other than of course filling the entire place in with glass pane, is to do the balcony. The balcony is really easy. This is what you want to do. Come down to your balcony and place a single quartz block on this side and on this side, right here. You then want to take out your glass pane and you just want to outline the edge of the balcony like this. So you just want to create a nice little barrier like this all the way around the balcony, and that is all you have to do. Very easy indeed. And in doing that, you've done the majority of this house. All I'm going to do now is cut out and fill the entire place in with the doors and the glass pane, and whatever else I made. I may also mess about with the interior ever so slightly, just to show you where I had in mind where the floors would go, but I'm going to cut out and do all of those things, and I'll be back in a moment. So, as you guys may be able to notice, I have been all the way around the house with my glass pane, and in some instances, glass block. It really wasn't too painful. I thought that it was going to be the worst thing ever, but it really wasn't too bad. It didn't take too long. Let me just show you the one instance where I used glass block instead of pane. For this middle second floor panel of the house, I used glass block, and I'll show you why when we have a look at the interior, but I used glass block for this instead of pane just to point that out. Let's continue revolving around the house. I really do like the aesthetics of this house. I really like the fact that I used quartz for the ground floor. I was going to use dark grey wool, as I usually do, but the quartz is looking nice. Really do like this house. It's very simple as well. Let me show you the inside of the house now, shall I? So let's come here. So this is the interior of the house. I really didn't do too much to it, to be completely honest with you. You guys know how I feel about interiors. However, as small as the house may look from the outside, it's actually a pretty decent side from the inside, or at least the ground floor is. As you can see, I completely replaced the original ground with quartz block, and remember to replace underneath both the doors and the glass pane and the glass block. Anywhere where you can see underneath of, replace that block. It makes it look 10 times better. Let's have a bit of a look at the second floor. Here we go. So this is what I have for the second floor. It's looking pretty nice. There's not too much you can do with the interior for it. This is why I used glass block instead of glass pane, by the way. If I would have used glass pane, as a matter of fact, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. I was convinced in my head that if I use glass pane for like this back middle panel here, if I use the glass pane then it'd make the inside look weird. However, I think that the pane would just all connect together. So you could use glass pane, however I think that glass block is looks pretty good anyway. This is what you want to have for both of the staircases, if you like me, if you want them like this. I do kind of like this dual staircase setup. It looks weird. I don't know why. I really like this. It looks great, in my opinion. I wish that I could have like had some glass pane around the actual like entrance up here to the second floor, just so you couldn't fall down. But you know, you'd have to make the house bigger. I didn't want to do that, so. This is what I have for the two staircases. Very simple indeed, as you can see. You can see where they're positioned, and I'll just show you how they look from the first floor. Although you can't really get a good view of them. There's not really enough room, but there you go. They're the stairs, and that's really the main thing that I wanted to show you with this house. I just wanted to show you where the stairs were designed to go, and of course. The main reason for having the second floor is so that we can have this beautiful balcony here. I really like that balcony. Only reason you really do have that second floor, I mean, there's not really too much room up there, you can't really place too many things, maybe a couple of chests here and there, but the main reason, that balcony. And there you go, that's really all I wanted to show you with the house. The interior isn't detailed in the slightest, it's not really complicated. Of course, you can place what you want where. If you want to change the stair system into a single staircase, then you can place the stairs wherever you want, of course, and use what you want as what, but just to toot my own horn, I think I did a pretty decent job. I really do like this house. It's one of my favourites, I'm going to be honest with you. Very easy, very simple, nice design, but I really do think it flows well, and anyway, once you've reached this point in the video right here, this tutorial is 100% completely over. I have shown you everything that you could possibly want to know. Hopefully you guys had an easy enough time following this. It's one of the easier house tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.